The 2025 NBA playoffs are about a week away, so today I wanted to discuss the most important player on every playoff team. If your team isn't going to make the playoffs like my Phoenix Suns, well, you won't be talked about in this video. Damian Lillard has been out with a blood clot for the past few weeks, and there's real question marks about his ability to play this postseason. We know we will get a dominant Giannis, so with Dame being a wild card to play or not, we have to look elsewhere for the team's most important player. We could sit here and say that it is Kyle Kuzma, and we wouldn't be wrong, but with Dame being out, there has to be someone who can take over the game on the perimeter. Kevin Porter Jr. is the team's best option for that right now, and because of that, he is the Bucks' most important player come playoff time, since he is going to have to fill that lead guard role if Dame is out, making him the Bucks' most important player. The Bulls aren't going to do much as a bad play-in team, so we'll just leave it like this. Josh Giddey play makes for everyone, and when the team is at their best, he is running the offense at a fast pace, making him the most important player. When you look at Cleveland, you have many options to choose from. Best player is Donovan Mitchell, Darius Garland has the most question marks, and Jared Allen and DeAndre Hunter have true defensive presences that can't be ignored. However, when it comes down to it, the Cavs have played their best basketball all season when Evan Mobley has been on the court. The defense with him playing is so much better than without. Then offensively, when he is playing assertively and dominating the interior, there aren't many answers for the Cavs offense. It is really a no-brainer that Evan Mobley is the team's most important player for the 2025 Cavs playoff run, as he will be able to dictate the outcome of many series simply by which version of him shows up. With how good the defending champions are, finding the most important player is difficult, but when you consider the impact Jrue Holiday has as a very versatile guard who is gifted defensively enough to guard 1 through 5, and is the veteran leader to a team that has had tendencies to become unorganized and discombobulated, making Jrue the pick for the Celtics is pretty easy in my eyes. The Clippers' most important player very well could be Kawhi Leonard as the best player, with so many question marks surrounding if he will play or not, as we know when it comes down to it, his health is, well, a question mark. But when it comes down to it, James Harden has had a history of not showing up in the playoffs, and with that history and knowing the impact he has on all the players around him with his playmaking, James Harden must play well for the Clippers to thrive, making him the most important player. Ja Morant has missed so much time this year that we can't even consider him the team's best player from the regular season. Memphis has had to rely on other players, and the player that had kept them atop the standings for the majority of the year was Jaren Jackson Jr. Ja has a track record of dominating in the playoffs, but Triple J has a history of being blinded by the lights, and considering that, the team can only go as far as his production as the co-star can take them. He can't get into foul trouble, he has to be stellar on defense, and he has to put numbers up on offense. This is exactly why he is the most important player to the Memphis Grizzlies team in their 2025 campaign. We already know what we're going to get from Trae Young, as he's the best offensive player for the Hawks team, and the offense is suspect, so I think for 2025, their most important player that needs to play well will be Risa Sher, the rookie. Tyler Herro's an all-star. Bam has been much better of late, but their wild card player in Miami is definitely Andrew Wiggins, since they're going to need 2022 playoff mode for him to kick in. Zach LaVine is a premier 3-level scorer and is the most dynamic scorer at all 3 levels for the Kings. DeMar DeRozan could take off and lead the team, but for the team to really be good, they need Zach LaVine to turn up. After trading 100 first-round picks for him, Mikal Bridges has been one of the more disappointing players of the 2025 season. The inconsistency of the guy who is ideally supposed to be the third option on a team that has struggled with inconsistency all season does show an alarming correlation to the Knicks' success and Mikal's performance. If he plays as we know he can, the Knicks will be a tough out in the playoffs, but if he decides to continue his inconsistent play and does not show up, an early exit is looming for the Knicks, making him the team's most important player. Well, the Magic have 2 rising superstars that are destined to take over in the playoffs. However, their youth and inability to shoot has made their struggles all year more notable. With that knowledge, we know the player they signed this offseason is going to be their most important player, as KCP needs to shoot the ball very well, but also make his veteran presence known for the best possible run in the playoffs for Orlando. The Mavericks are only going to go as far as Anthony Davis takes them, so he is kind of an easy pick here. Jamal Murray has made a name for being bad in the regular season and turning it on in the playoffs. Last year, however, he did not show up in the playoffs, which directly led to the Nuggets losing in the second round. If we don't see a vintage, electric, high-level Jamal Murray, the Nuggets are going to struggle to win many matchups, as the supporting cast is not that good to compensate for his production and make it up on their own. Jokic also needs a reliable co-star, so if Jamal is not going to show up, there will be a lack of production needed to win, and Jokic will be the only one doing anything consistently for the Nuggets, leading to their demise. So Jamal Murray, you are obviously the most important player for this year's playoff run in Denver. With his play of late, Tyrese Haliburton has been able to lead the Pacers to a hot second half of the season. Seeing how he was playing so poorly and the Pacers in direct effect played poorly, and then to see how Hallie has turned it on and then the team decided to turn it on as well, it is very clear that Haliburton's play and success determines the team's play and success. I'm very high on this Pacers team, but for the team to reach their ceiling, their most important and best player needs to take over. There aren't any true co-stars around Cade Cunningham in Detroit, as there are just so many volatile players next to him. Because of this, Cade is going to have to dominate the playoffs in order for the Pistons to be successful. Sure, the shooting of Malik Beasley is important, Jalen Duren needs to show up and show out, the defense needs to stay at a high level, and the veterans, Dennis Schroeder and Tobias Harris, need to prove they are good NBA players. But all of that does not matter if Cade Cunningham does not maintain a superstar level of production. He needs to take over the playoffs, and his importance is unlike any other superstars due to the lack of a foundational co-star right now, making him by far the most important player for Detroit. We know how good the Rockets defense is, how deep the team is, and how hungry they are. We also know that the Rockets are one of the worst shooting teams in the NBA playoffs and really struggle to create shots offensively, causing them to be handicapped on offense. Acknowledging the desperation of a perimeter player to shoot, facilitate, shot create, and just simply score, we acknowledge that Jalen Green's ability to do all of those things at a high level, like he has the majority of the season, makes him the Rockets' most important player. The Oklahoma City Thunder have been the best team in the NBA all year, and I think we all know that, as they've just flat out dominated. A lot of us are still skeptical about them because they do not have consistent offense outside of their MVP. And let's be honest, I'm not going to drive home the free throw merchant allegations, but the 2 times SGA hasn't shot a normal number of free throws for him, the team has been killed. Their offense is not going to run on free throws in the playoffs, and SGA is going to need someone else to create shots for themselves and others. That is why Jalen Williams has to be their most important player, because if there is no offense outside of SGA, then there will be no offense outside of him and the transition points. If they run into a hot team that they can't slow down on defense, they won't be able to match the scoring, similar to what happened last season. J-Dub has to turn up in order for OKC to truly succeed. If you haven't seen how locked in Julius Randle has been, he is a brand new player. He is unselfish now, he is doing the dirty work, and he's essentially turned himself into a scoring competent Draymond Green. Maintaining this level of play would allow for the Timberwolves to be the most dangerous team possible, as it allows everyone else to thrive around them. All of their shooters get more open looks, and they have a top defense when they are locked in and connected as is, which means the Timberwolves really can put on a show in the playoffs simply by the most important player, Julius Randle, playing well. As the Warriors look terrifying right now with Curry and everyone else turning it on right now, the last piece to really solidify them as true contenders no one wants to play is the arrival of Playoff Jimmy, who has yet to make his appearance in Golden State. History matters, and Playoff Jimmy in the postseason has made a reputation of destroying the best teams with the odds stacked against them. If he is playing alongside Steph Curry, who is an assassin in his own right, the Warriors will be dominant, and that is why Playoff Jimmy is the Warriors' most important player of the 2025 playoffs. The last team we have is the Los Angeles Lakers. I just talked about their most important player in my weekly recap last week. It's called In Case You Missed It, and it will be linked at the end of this video. Austin Reeves is the most important player, but the more in-depth reason why is on the video on the upper left. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope you enjoyed the NBA playoffs. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you enjoyed this video. Y'all stay safe. Have a good one. Bye.